Every single day, your dog walks to the front door and waits, sometimes minutes before you even pull into the driveway. No alarm, no phone, no clock on the wall. So how do they know? The answer will completely change how you see your dog. Let's start with the scene itself. You get home from work, and your dog is right there, already at the door. Maybe they're pacing. Maybe they're whining softly. Maybe they've dragged one of your shoes to the entrance like a welcome gift. Your neighbor mentions they saw your dog move to the door about 10 minutes before your car appeared. Your family says it happens every single day, almost like clockwork. And the crazy part? You didn't have a fixed schedule that week. You came home at different times on different days, and your dog still got it right. For years, most people brushed this off. They said things like, "Oh, dogs just hear the car from far away," or "they'd probably smell you coming." And while those explanations sound reasonable on the surface, they don't hold up under scrutiny. Think about it. Your dog starts waiting before you're even close enough for a normal dog to hear your car engine. And smell? Your scent doesn't travel miles ahead of you through a closed house. So what's really going on? The truth is layered, and it starts with understanding that your dog experiences time in a way that is genuinely, profoundly different from how you do. Not worse, not simpler, just different, and actually quite remarkable. Here's the first piece of the puzzle. Dogs live in a constant chemical environment. Your home is not just walls and furniture to your dog. It is a living, shifting landscape of scent. Every surface, every corner, every cushion holds a record of who was there and how long ago. Your scent, your specific individual scent, is deposited everywhere you exist in that house. And here's the key part. That scent fades. It fades at a measurable, predictable rate, and your dog can detect those changes in concentration with a precision that is almost impossible for us to fully grasp. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Yours has about 6 million. The part of a dog's brain dedicated to analyzing smell is proportionally about 40 times larger than the equivalent region in a human brain. This isn't just a quantitative difference, it's a qualitative one. Your dog doesn't just smell more, they process scent in a way that creates a rich, textured picture of the world over time. So when you leave for work in the morning, your scent is strong throughout the house. As hours pass, that concentration drops. Your dog tracks that drop. Not consciously, the way you might watch a clock, but instinctively, the way you know it's almost noon because your stomach starts to growl. The fading of your scent becomes a signal. When it drops to a certain level, your dog's body says, "They're coming back soon. Get ready. Go to the door." What we just described has a name. Researchers who study animal cognition call it the olfactory clock, or more informally, the scent clock. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your dog the same way again. Here's how it works in practice. Every time you touch a surface, sit on a couch, walk across a floor, you leave behind a chemical signature. That signature is made up of hundreds of compounds: skin cells, sweat, breath, the bacteria that live on your body. Together, they create something completely unique to you. And that signature, like all chemical traces, begins to degrade the moment you're no longer actively renewing it. Now, your dog has spent their entire life living with you. They have built what we might call a scent timeline of your daily routines. They know, in a deeply biological way, what your scent smells like after 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. They don't think about this consciously. They don't need to. Their olfactory system does the math automatically. When the scent reaches a certain level of fading, their body recognizes it the same way yours recognizes a familiar melody after hearing just 2 notes. This is backed by some genuinely fascinating research. Dogs trained in scent detection work can distinguish scent samples that differ by mere minutes in age, not hours, minutes. The precision of this system is so fine-grained that working dogs in detection roles are sometimes used to track how recently a person was in a location, not just whether they were there at all. But here's where it gets even more interesting for everyday dog owners. This scent clock doesn't just tell your dog when you're coming home. It tells them something deeper. It tells them what your day felt like. When you arrive home stressed, your cortisol is wholesome elevated, and that changes your scent profile measurably. Your dog knows before you've said a single word. When you've been around another animal, your clothes carry that information like a newspaper. When you've exercised, when you've eaten something unfamiliar, when you've been around someone who is sick, your dog reads all of this in the seconds they spend greeting you at the door.
So that moment when your dog shoves their nose into your legs when you walk in, that's not just excitement. That's a full briefing. Your dog is catching up on your entire day in a matter of seconds. Think of it like checking your phone for missed messages, except infinitely more accurate and completely instinctive. Now, some dogs show this behavior more reliably than others. Breeds with historically strong scent detection roles, beagles, bloodhounds, German shepherds, Malinois, tend to display the most consistent pre-arrival waiting. But even mixed breeds, even dogs that have never been trained in any formal capacity, demonstrate this ability to some degree. It's not a trained skill, it's a biological inheritance from tens of thousands of years of evolutionary refinement.
And there's one more layer to this. Your dog's scent clock is calibrated specifically to you. If two people live in the same house and one comes home at 5 p.m. and the other at 7 p.m., dogs in that household learn to distinguish which set of scent signals predicts which arrival. They will wait at the door for the right person at the right time. That level of individual recognition and individual timekeeping is something that still genuinely surprises many animal behaviorists when they observe it in controlled conditions. The scent clock is the most scientifically precise answer to why your dog waits at the door, but it's not the whole story, because dogs don't just track time through smell. They also have an internal biological clock, a circadian rhythm, that is tuned with remarkable accuracy to the rhythms of the people they love. Your body runs on a 24-hour cycle. Your cortisol levels rise in the morning, peak in the early afternoon, and drop in the evening. Your body temperature shifts. Your movement patterns repeat. Your habits form a biological beat that plays out every single day, and your dog's internal clock synchronizes with that beat over time. Dogs have their own natural circadian rhythms, of course, but what makes domesticated dogs genuinely unique in the animal kingdom is that they have co-evolved with humans for somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years. During that time, their circadian biology has developed an extraordinary capacity to entrain to, or synchronize with, the rhythms of the specific humans they live with. This isn't just behavioral conditioning, like learning that the sound of a can opener means food. This is a deeper biological alignment. What this means practically is that your dog's body prepares for your return before your scent has even had a chance to fully fade. Their activity cycles, their alertness levels, their hormonal state, all of these begin shifting roughly in the window when you typically come home. They become more alert, more anticipatory, more oriented toward the door. Their body is essentially warming up for reunion, the same way yours might generate excitement before something you're looking forward to. And there's an emotional layer on top of the biological one. Dogs are profoundly attachment-oriented animals. The bond between a dog and their primary person activates many of the same neurological pathways as parental attachment in humans. Oxytocin release, dopamine anticipation circuits, even mild separation anxiety when the bond is broken for extended periods. This means your dog isn't just tracking when you come home the way a machine tracks a variable. They are emotionally invested in your return. Their whole body is oriented toward it. This is why dogs who are very tightly bonded to one person will often start waiting earlier, display more visible anticipation, and show more intense reunion behavior when that person finally arrives. The biology and the emotion amplify each other. The scent clock says soon, the circadian rhythm says it's time, and the emotional bond says I need this. All three signals converge and produce that image you know so well. Your dog already at the door, tail moving, eyes bright, waiting for you. There is something profoundly moving about understanding this fully. Your dog isn't waiting at the door because they want to walk, or because they're bored, or because they've been trained to. They are waiting at the door because their entire biological and emotional system is oriented around you. You are their anchor. You are the most important variable in their world, and their body counts down your absence the way a person counts down the hours before someone they deeply love comes home. When you walk through that door, the reunion you're experiencing is not casual for your dog. It's the resolution of a biological and emotional anticipation that has been building for hours. The jumping, the whining, the frantic circling, that's not misbehavior. That's relief. So now that you understand the scent clock, the circadian rhythm alignment, and the emotional bond driving your dog to that door, what do you actually do with this knowledge? Because understanding your dog isn't just intellectually interesting, it changes things. It changes how you treat them, how you set up their day, and how you respond to the behaviors that sometimes confuse or frustrate you. First, Your comings and goings matter more than you think. If your schedule is highly irregular, different return times every day, unpredictable absences, your dog's scent clock and circadian rhythm cannot settle into a reliable pattern. This doesn't mean your dog will suffer catastrophically from schedule variation, but it does mean that consistent routines genuinely help your dog feel more secure and less anxious. If you can aim to return within a predictable window most days, you're giving your dog's biology something to anchor to. That reduces stress. That improves well-being. Second, your reunion behavior sets the emotional tone for the rest of the evening. When your dog has been in a state of building anticipation for hours, and you walk through the door and immediately start answering emails or making calls without acknowledging them, that disconnect lands harder than you might expect. I'm not saying you need to make a dramatic production of arriving home, but a genuine 30 seconds of calm, focused greeting goes a long way. Get down to their level. Let them complete that door greeting briefing with their nose. Make eye contact. Say their name. That brief moment of real connection resolves the biological and emotional anticipation they've been holding. It settles them. You'll notice the difference in how they behave the rest of the evening. Third, separation anxiety, when it exists, is not stubbornness or manipulation. It is a biological response to bond disruption. A dog who destroys things while you're gone, who howls for extended periods, who refuses to eat in your absence, that dog is not being difficult. That dog's nervous system is in a state of genuine distress because their primary emotional anchor is absent and their scent clock cannot yet predict the return. Understanding this changes how you approach the problem. Instead of frustration, you bring patience. Instead of punishment, you build routines and gradual desensitization. Fourth, and this one is subtle but important, the next time your dog greets you at the door, pay attention to what they do in those first few seconds. Watch where they put their nose. Watch their body language. Watch their eyes. That dog is not just excited to see you in a generic way. They are reading your specific emotional and physical state with a precision that no technology we have ever invented can match. They already know if you're stressed before your face tells them. They already know if something is off. And in those first moments, they will adjust their behavior to match what you need. Calm presence if you're overwhelmed. Playful energy if you're light. That is the depth of attunement you're living with every single day. Your dog waits at the door because you are the center of their world. Their biology is built around you. Their time is measured by your absence and your return. And every single day, without fail, they are there, tracking the fading of your scent, feeling their body shift into anticipation, moving to the door because their whole self is pointed toward the moment you come home. That's not just instinct. That's love, expressed through 40,000 years of evolution.
If this changed how you see your dog, even a little, hit subscribe. We break down the hidden world of dog behavior every single week. And the more you understand your dog, the deeper that bond becomes. Leave a comment and tell us, does your dog wait at the door for you? How early do they start? We read every single one.